Right now, someone is using your own words to destroy you. They're sitting in a room plotting your downfall with sentences you spoke months ago. That joke you made, it's evidence against you. That secret you shared, it's leverage in their hands. That moment of weakness, it's their path to victory. You think your words disappear into thin air. You believe people forget what you say. You assume your conversations are safe. This is the most dangerous delusion of modern life. Every successful person has fallen because of words they wish they could take back. Every empire has crumbled because someone said too much. Every friendship has died because trust was broken by loose tongues. The ancient masters understood something we've forgotten. Your mouth is your most dangerous enemy. It reveals your secrets, exposes your weaknesses, and hands your enemies exactly what they need to defeat you. Niccolo Machiavelli spent his life studying power, and he discovered the ultimate truth. Those who control their words control their destiny. Those who don't become victims of their own voice. But here's what separates the victims from the victors. It's not intelligence, it's not opportunity, it's understanding that words have consequences, and silence has power. In a world where everything is recorded, remembered, and potentially weaponized against you, your verbal discipline becomes your most valuable skill. In the next few minutes, you'll discover 10 psychological traps that turn your mouth into your executioner. These situations happen to everyone, but only the wise recognize them before it's too late. If these dark truths awaken something in you, if you're tired of being psychologically dominated by others, then prove it. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I speak only to win. Anger is truth serum. When fury takes control, your brain shuts down its security system, and your mouth becomes a confession booth. Every grievance you've silently endured, every resentment you've carefully hidden, every dark thought you've suppressed, they all come pouring out like poison from a broken vessel. The person who triggered your anger isn't your enemy in that moment. They're your interrogator. They've just discovered the fastest way to extract your deepest truths. While you're busy feeling justified in your rage, they're busy collecting intelligence about who you really are beneath the mask you show the world. Rage makes you predictable. Once someone knows what makes you explode, they own you. They can trigger your fury whenever they need you to reveal something, make a mistake, or destroy your own credibility. Your anger becomes their remote control. They push the button, and you dance to their tune like a puppet on strings. But here's the most dangerous part. It's not what you say that destroys you, it's who hears it. Your moment of rage becomes their permanent record of your character. Your temporary loss of control becomes their permanent evidence against you. They'll store these words, these revelations, these glimpses behind your mask for future use when they need ammunition. Machiavelli once said, "He who wishes to be obeyed must know how to command." Command starts with commanding yourself. If you can't control your own mouth when angry, you'll never control anything else that matters. Your rage is not righteous. It's weakness, wearing the mask of strength. Success intoxicates worse than alcohol. When you're winning, your ego demands recognition. You want applause for your brilliance. You crave credit for your strategy. You need everyone to know how clever you've been. This need for validation destroys more winners than failure ever could. Every explanation of your success is a tutorial for your competitors. Every revelation of your strategy is a roadmap for those who want to defeat you. Every detail you share about your methods becomes a blueprint for your replacement. You think you're sharing wisdom, but you're actually giving away trade secrets to people who will use them against you. The hunger for recognition is a trap that catches even brilliant minds. They can't resist explaining their genius. They can't stay quiet about their victories. They transform from mysterious winners into transparent losers with every word they speak. Your competitors aren't celebrating your success. They're studying it. They're not impressed by your achievements. They're reverse engineering them. Think about the most successful people throughout history. Did they write detailed manuals explaining exactly how they achieved their victories? Did they give away their strategies to anyone who asked? Of course not. They understood that mystery maintains power while explanation destroys it. True masters celebrate internally and speak externally only when silence would create more problems than revelation. They understand that teaching your methods to the world is like giving your enemies the keys to your kingdom. Your success story becomes their instruction manual. Alcohol doesn't create new thoughts. It removes the barriers that keep dangerous thoughts hidden. Every drink weakens your mental security system. Every glass lowers your defenses. Every bottle turns you into an intelligence asset for anyone smart enough to stay sober while you lose control. The most valuable secrets are extracted not through torture, but through wine. People confess their affairs, reveal their strategies, admit their fears, and expose their plans when inhibitions dissolve in liquid courage. What takes years to learn, through careful observation, can be discovered in one drunken evening. Professional manipulators are masters of liquid interrogation. They create comfortable environments, provide endless drinks, and ask seemingly innocent questions, while their targets become more and more talkative. They remember everything while you forget everything. Your drunk confessions become their sober consequences. That admission about your relationship problems becomes evidence in future divorce proceedings. That revelation about business struggles becomes intelligence for competitors who want to poach your clients. That moment of honesty about your financial situation becomes leverage for people who want to control you. The temporary pleasure of sharing secrets becomes the lasting pain of being exposed. Smart people drink strategically or not at all. They understand that in a world where everyone carries recording devices, every intoxicated word can become evidence. They choose clarity over connection when the stakes matter. They'd rather be seen as antisocial than be destroyed by their own loose tongue. Pressure reveals character, and most people discover they have less character than they thought. When stress mounts, deadlines approach, and expectations increase, the civilized mask slips away. What emerges is often ugly, weak, and perfectly exploitable by those who understand human psychology. Stress creates desperation, and desperation creates confession. Under pressure, people admit they're unqualified, reveal they're struggling, and confess they're failing. They think they're seeking support, but they're actually providing their enemies with targeting information. They're handing over the exact intelligence needed to destroy them. The most dangerous stress confessions happen to those closest to you. You tell family about your work struggles, friends about your relationship problems, and colleagues about your inadequacies. Each confession creates a vulnerability that can be weaponized against you later when circumstances change or loyalties shift. Your breaking point isn't a moment of authenticity, it's a moment of exploitation. While you're focused on relieving pressure, others are focused on applying it. Your stress becomes their opportunity to extract information, gain advantage, or position themselves for your downfall. People lose respect for those who can't handle stress professionally. Your moment of weakness becomes their permanent assessment of your capabilities. They file away this information about your breaking point, your triggers, your limitations. When they need to control or defeat you later, they know exactly which pressure points to target. Professional manipulators don't attack directly. They appear vulnerable. They share carefully crafted stories of struggle, reveal strategic weaknesses, and make you feel like their savior. While you're busy feeling important and needed, they're busy extracting every piece of valuable information you possess. The sympathy trap works because it reverses the power dynamic. Instead of feeling threatened, you feel protective. Instead of guarding secrets, you share them to help. Instead of maintaining distance, you create intimacy that can be exploited later. You think you're being compassionate, but you're actually being harvested. Real vulnerability is rare and messy. Performed vulnerability is polished and purposeful. Learn to distinguish between genuine need and strategic manipulation. The person who tells the perfect sob story, who has exactly the right amount of struggle to generate sympathy without seeming pathetic, is often the most dangerous predator in the room. Your compassion becomes their competitive advantage. Every secret you share to help them becomes intelligence they use against you. Every weakness you reveal in solidarity becomes ammunition for future attacks. They study your responses, your triggers, your soft spots. They learn exactly what appeals to your sense of justice, your need to help, your desire to be needed. These emotional predators are experts at creating false intimacy. They make you feel special, chosen, trusted with their deepest secrets. But their secrets are Strategic reveals designed to make you reciprocate with your real secrets. They're giving you fool's gold while you give them actual treasure. Social groups operate on information currency. Every secret shared, every opinion revealed, every confidence broken has value in the social marketplace. When you participate in gossip, you're not just passing time, you're trading intelligence, and most people are terrible negotiators in this market. The gossip economy has simple rules. Information flows upward to power, and betrayal flows downward to weakness. The person who collects secrets without sharing them accumulates power. The person who shares secrets without collecting them becomes powerless. Every workplace, every friend group, every community has information brokers who appear interested, trustworthy, and connected. But they're actually running intelligence operations. Your secrets are the product, and your trust is the transaction cost. These social spies know exactly how to make you feel heard, understood, validated. They ask the right questions, show the right amount of interest, express the right amount of outrage at your situation. But they're not your friends, they're your data miners. The most dangerous aspect of gossip isn't what you say about others, it's what it reveals about you. Every secret you share proves you can't be trusted with sensitive information. Every confidence you break advertises your unreliability to anyone paying attention. Every piece of gossip you spread becomes evidence of your character that can be used against you later. Stop taking everything personally. When someone treats you poorly, they're not revealing something about you. They're revealing something about themselves. When someone tries to manipulate you, they're not showing your weakness. They're showing their desperation. Master the information economy by becoming a collector rather than a distributor. When power challenges you unfairly, every instinct screams for justice. You want to defend yourself, prove your worth, and demonstrate your competence. This instinct is a trap that destroys careers, relationships, and reputations faster than any external enemy ever could. Authority doesn't want your explanations, it wants your submission. Most challenges from authority are tests disguised as conflicts. They're designed to reveal whether you can handle pressure, accept criticism, and maintain professionalism under fire. When you respond emotionally, you fail the test and confirm their assessment of your limitations. The fairness you demand doesn't exist in power structures. The respect you expect must be earned through results, not demanded through arguments. The understanding you seek will never come from challenging those who hold your future in their hands. You're not fighting for justice. You're fighting for your own destruction. Your defense becomes your prosecution. Every word you speak to justify yourself becomes evidence of your inability to accept responsibility. Every argument you make proves you lack the wisdom to recognize when silence serves you better than speech. You think you're standing up for yourself, but you're actually digging your own grave. Smart people respond to authority challenges with strategic compliance, followed by exceptional performance. They prove their worth through results, not through rhetoric. They understand that today's unfair criticism can become tomorrow's opportunity if handled correctly. They bite their tongue in the moment and let their achievements speak later. When relationships end in betrayal, you possess nuclear intelligence, their secrets, fears, failures, and weaknesses. The temptation to weaponize this information feels like justice, but revenge through revelation is a suicide strategy that destroys you more than your target. Every relationship is a mutual intelligence exchange. You know their vulnerabilities, and they know yours. When you start revealing their secrets, you're not just attacking them. You're advertising yourself as someone who weaponizes private information. You're telling the world that trust you is dangerous. Future partners, employers, and allies are always watching how you handle relationship endings. They're evaluating whether you can be trusted with sensitive information. Your revenge becomes their warning about your character. Everyone learns that you're willing to betray confidences when hurt, making your credibility worthless. The most devastating aspect of revenge revelation isn't the immediate damage to your target, it's the long-term destruction of your reputation. People will share secrets with you again, but they'll never fully trust you. They'll always wonder if their confidences will become your weapons when things go wrong. Professional power players handle betrayal with strategic silence. They preserve secrets as future leverage rather than spending them for immediate satisfaction. They understand that maintained secrets are more powerful than revealed ones because The threat of exposure is often more effective than exposure itself. When you feel inadequate or uncertain, your mouth tries to compensate by performing confidence, expertise, and importance. This overcompensation is psychological theater that fools no one and exposes everything about your insecurities. Insecurity creates verbal desperation. You name drop to seem connected, over-explain to seem knowledgeable, and interrupt to seem important. Each behavior screams the opposite of what you intend. Your performance becomes everyone else's entertainment, and your desperation becomes their leverage over you. True competence doesn't require advertisement. Real expertise doesn't need explanation. Genuine confidence doesn't seek validation. When you constantly perform these qualities through words, you prove you don't possess them through substance. You're like someone shouting about how quiet they are. The contradiction is obvious to everyone. The most dangerous part of competence theater is that it makes you predictable. People learn exactly which buttons trigger your need to prove yourself. They discover how to manipulate you into revealing information, making poor decisions, or acting against your interests. Your insecurity becomes their instruction manual for controlling you. Master performers let their work create their reputation, rather than trying to create it through constant self-promotion. They're comfortable with others not immediately recognizing their value because they're confident in their ability to demonstrate it when it matters. They understand that true power whispers, while weakness shouts. When facing pressure, demands, or expectations you can't currently meet, your mouth starts writing checks your reality can't cash. Promises feel like solutions because they solve immediate problems without requiring immediate capability. But every promise creates a debt that compounds with interest. Promise-making is the language of the desperate. It's what people do when they lack present solutions to current problems. Instead of dealing with reality, they create fantasy futures that never materialize. Instead of building actual value, they build false expectations that will eventually collapse. The psychology of promises is seductive because they cost nothing up front. You can promise to change, improve, deliver, or perform without any immediate investment. The payment comes later when credibility is destroyed and trust is broken. You're borrowing against your future reputation to solve today's pressure. Every unfulfilled promise becomes evidence against your reliability. Every broken commitment proves your word is worthless. Every failed guarantee demonstrates that you prioritize temporary relief over permanent reputation. You become someone whose promises are ignored because everyone knows they're meaningless. Strategic operators make fewer promises and exceed expectations rather than making grand commitments they can't keep. They underpromise and overdeliver, building reputations for reliability rather than rhetoric. They understand that your word is your bond, and breaking that bond destroys more than relationships. It destroys your ability to influence anyone. Your mouth has been betraying you your entire life, and you probably didn't even know it. Every conversation is a potential minefield, where one wrong word can destroy years of careful positioning. Every social interaction is a chess game where your words are either strategic moves or fatal blunders. The 10 situations we've explored aren't rare events. They're daily occurrences happening to everyone around you right now. The difference between victims and victors isn't intelligence or opportunity. It's understanding that words have consequences and silence has power. Machiavelli understood what most people never learn. The game of life is won not by those who speak their minds, but by those who control their minds before they speak. Every word you utter either strengthens your position or weakens it. Every silence either protects you or costs you an opportunity. Let me give you 5 principles that will transform you from someone whose words work against them to someone whose speech becomes their secret weapon. First, treat every conversation like a negotiation. Before you speak, ask yourself, what does this person want from me? And what do I want from them? Never enter verbal exchanges blindly. Always have an objective. Second, practice strategic ambiguity. You don't have to lie, but you don't have to tell the complete truth immediately. Learn to answer questions without fully revealing your position. Give information in measured doses. Third, master the art of deflection. When someone asks invasive questions, Redirect with questions of your own. That's interesting. What makes you ask? Turns interrogation into investigation, where you gather information instead of giving it away. Fourth, develop selective memory. Some conversations never happened. Some confessions were never made. Some promises were never offered. Strategic amnesia protects you from being held accountable for words spoken in emotional moments. Fifth, create verbal scarcity. When you speak less, your words carry more weight. When you share less, people value what you do share more highly. Become the person whose opinion is sought, rather than the person who gives unsolicited advice. This transformation isn't about becoming cold or calculating. It's about becoming intelligent in your communication. It's about understanding that in a world where information is power, every piece of information you give away is power you lose. Most people think honesty means telling everyone everything all the time. But true honesty means being authentic about what matters, while being strategic about what doesn't. You can be genuine without being transparent. You can be trustworthy without being an open book. The most powerful people throughout history weren't the most talkative, they were the most strategic. They spoke when their words could build and stayed silent when their words could destroy. They understood that communication is not about expressing every thought. It's about achieving specific outcomes. When you master this balance, something remarkable happens. People start coming to you for advice because they know you won't just tell them what they want to hear. They start trusting you with bigger responsibilities because they know you won't reveal sensitive information. They start seeing you as leadership material because they know you can handle pressure without losing control. Your words will either build your empire or become the tools others use to destroy it. The decision you make right now to continue speaking carelessly or to start communicating strategically will determine which path your life follows. In a world full of people who can't control their tongues, the person who masters their mouth masters their destiny. Your silence becomes your shield. Your strategic speech becomes your sword. Your controlled communication becomes your crown. Remember what we discussed at the beginning. Someone is using your words against you right now. But after today, that person will find nothing to use. Your words will be chosen, not triggered. Your silence will be powerful, not empty. Your communication will serve your goals, not sabotage them. If this revelation opened your eyes to how your own words have been used against you, if you're ready to stop giving your enemies ammunition through careless conversation, if you understand that true power whispers while weakness shouts, then take action. Subscribe for more insights into the dark psychology of power and manipulation. Your future self will thank you for learning these lessons before it's too late. Like this video to show you're ready to stop being naive about the power of words. Share it with someone who needs to understand that in the ultimate game of influence, your mouth can be your greatest asset or your most dangerous liability. The choice is yours, but choose wisely. Because the moment you start speaking strategically instead of emotionally, you stop being controlled and start becoming unstoppable.